Finance Minister Yuval Steinitz said while Israel is unquestionably opposed to the Palestinian statehood bid, no one can stop Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas from petitioning the United Nations. This is a Palestinian attempt to get a state without giving anything to Israel in return, without peace, without security, and without giving up on the demand to return Palestinian refugees to Israel, Steinitz said. Jordan's King Abdullah advised Abbas to reconsider the statehood bid next month. He warned Abbas that declaring Palestinian statehood could jeopardize the right of return of the Palestinian refugees. Abbas opted to ignore the warnings and said he intended to pursue the statehood bid. Once the Palestinian state is recognized, its legal status will change, he said. The Palestinians gain an independent state, they will demand the return of some 5 million Palestinian refugees to their original homes inside Israel, he said. Iran is sending a warship and submarine from the Republic's 15th Fleet to patrol the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, Navy Commander Admiral Habibullah Sayari said. The Navy will continue to maintain a high active presence in the area to serve the country's interests, he said. Iran's presence will not only enhance security in the area but will convey a message of peace and friendship to all countries, he declared. Iran's announcement came shortly after Israel said it was boosting its naval presence near the border with Egypt on Tuesday, after threats were received of plans by Sinai terrorists to wage attacks in Israel. Due to the warnings based on concrete intelligence received by the security establishment, Israel also boosted its ground forces along the border with Egypt and Gaza. Hundreds of thousands of Israeli pupils will start the new school year today. The day is favored by politicians and government officials who visit the country's schools, taking time out to sit in classrooms with first graders and reminisce about their school days. Unlike previous years, there was no last-minute teachers' strike preventing the new year from opening on time. Knesset Speaker Reuven Rivlin declared the entire land of Israel belongs to us during a visit to Itamar on Wednesday in honor of the school year. Zionism is a policy of settlement, he explained, calling Itamar the site of the terror attack in which 5 members of the Fogel family were murdered in March, an example for all Jews who return to their homeland. Rivlin said he chose to open the school year in Itamar in order to salute the residents who suffered a harsh blow and wished the children a blessed school year. Beirut backed Damascus and rejected the Arab League's call to end bloodshed in Syria. Lebanon's Foreign Minister Adnan Mansour said Wednesday Lebanon stands by its brother Syria and rejected a call by the Arab League demanding an end to the violence. Arab states told Syria earlier this week to resort to reason and end months of bloodshed after some of the most intense protests erupted in Damascus since the start of the uprising against President Bashar Assad. The Arab League foreign ministers also agreed to send Secretary General Nabil al-Arabi to Syria to push for political and economic reforms in the country ruled by Assad's family for 41 years. The United Nations says at least 2,200 people have been killed since Assad sent in tanks and troops to crush the demonstrations that erupted in March after the presidents of Tunisia and Egypt were toppled by popular protests. Hundreds of world leaders, government officials and businessmen will descend upon Tel Aviv next week for an international conference aimed at boosting Israel's cooperation with the Palestinians and members of the Arab world. President Shimon Peres, Defense Minister Ehud Barak, Bank of Israel Governor Stanley Fischer and European Union Ambassador Andrew Stanley are among the officials expected to attend the International Conference for Economic Regional Cooperation hosted by Vice Prime Minister Silvan Shalom. Palestinian officials have also been invited to attend the conference that will take place at the Interdisciplinary Center in Herzliya. Tony Blair, the quartet's special envoy to the Middle East, will receive an award to express Israel's appreciation for his efforts towards Middle East peace.